These are the rock albums you need to hear in 2023. With returning legends, long-awaited follow-ups, and exciting comebacks all ready for release, let's take a look at what you will be listening to over the next 12 months. January 20th sees the arrival of Rush by Måneskin, their first full-length release since they shot to stardom following their Eurovision win back in 2021. Recent singles Supermodel and The Loneliest gave a hint at the direction they're moving in, and the guys told us a little bit more about what to expect.
Well, there we had like 3 months where we spent like in this house all together and only wrote from like the morning to the night for 3 months in a row. So we also had the chance to like experiment a lot. And I feel that when you have to write music every day, it really helps you to stay creative, to really experiment and go different ways and try something completely different you've never done before. So also working like with new producers has been like very inspiring for us because it gave us a different perspective and view and just a different way of doing things, you know.
Also in January, we'll get a new release from punk legends Anti-Flag with Lies They Tell Our Children out on the 6th, featuring collaborations with members of Rise Against, Silverstein and Pink Shift. Newfound Glory will return with acoustic album Make the Most of It on January 20th, a mix of new songs and stripped back takes on classics from their back catalogue. Ville Valo brings us Neon Noir on January 13th. The Hymn frontman will release the record under the name VV and will appear at Download Festival next summer. And You Me at Six's new album Truth Decay will be out on January 27th. Featuring the singles Heartless and No Future Yeah Right, frontman Josh Franceschi told us about their initial aims going into the project.
We're kind of in the spirit at the moment. We've got so many ideas floating around that we're just trying to look at our demos and being like, well, what feels like just a You Me at Six record, rather than like, we don't feel like we need to go and prove anything about songs like, oh yeah, by the way, we can make a song that has dance elements in it, or hey, you know, this song's gonna like what you're doing right now, like an R&B sort of hip hop vibe. Like, we don't feel like we need to prove that. We've already proved that to ourselves that if we want to do that, we can do that. So now I think we're sort of like making some like a really straight up like quintessential You Me at Six record.
February 10th will see 2 massive long-awaited releases. Paramore's This Is Why features the huge title track and latest single The News. With a sound nodding to their past and inspired by the likes of Block Party, it is their first full-length release since 2017's After Laughter. And also on February 10th, Pierce the Veil released The Jaws of Life, which includes recent single Past the Nirvana and Emergency Contact. They recently told us why they decided to go with that title for the record.
It seemed to represent these songs and the lyrics and like the whole feel of the album. You know, it just kind of, I guess in short, it's just about how life can try and sink its teeth into you and devour you and trying to find your way out of that. And I think this album represents like, you know, getting out of that grip and seeing the light again and breaking through. So yeah, that's kind of the deep meaning behind it. But also, I just like how it sounds.
Into March, we will see new releases from Story of the Year with Tear Me to Pieces on the 10th. August Burns Red's Death Below will be released on the 24th. And a brand new Babymetal record, The Other One, is also set for release on March 24th. In a press release, we are told the album reveals the other side of the Babymetal story that until now remains untold. Bury Tomorrow's The Seventh Son is out on March 31st, and the guys told us about their working process earlier this year.
We are getting to the closing stages of our time in the studio. With some of the best songs we've ever written as a band, weird and different in places, heavy in others, melodic in others. But it's taking the best of Death, and it's just ramping that up.
Then in April, one of the biggest rock albums of the year is undoubtedly Metallica's 72 Seasons. Lead single Lux Eterna is out now, and the album will arrive in full on April 14th. On the meaning behind the record's title, James Hetfield said, 72 seasons, the first 18 years of our lives that form our true or false selves. Plus, on April 21st, the Smashing Pumpkins will deliver the third and final part of Autumn, described as a rock opera in 3 acts. So that's all the release dates we know so far, but there are so many more exciting rock albums also on the way. Blink-182 have been hard at work in the studio on their first release since welcoming Tom DeLonge back to the band. Tom has previously described the album as the best of their career. According to pre-orders on the band's website, it is set for release in the spring-summer period of 2023, most likely around their series of world tour dates. Fall Out Boy are also teasing their return with a mysterious advert appearing in a Chicago newspaper, seemingly announcing their 8th studio album. With a radio gig lined up in Los Angeles this January, hopefully we will not have to wait too much longer for more new music from the band. Waterparks' intellectual property is on the way, with the full tracklist and album art out in the world, as well as singles including Funeral Grey, which Austin Knight told us about working on.
Funeral Grey and Brainwashed were written one day apart and on the same little $50 guitar. And that's like the final stuff in it too, like where you're hearing, like the yeah, like that's the same little like basically toy guitar. And then with Brainwashed, like those are both done on like a guitar that's like this big. And and so it's really fun. But I think a lot of this album was approached more with guitar.
Green Day are also said to be working on a new record, potentially titled 1972, after the year the guys were born, with recording sessions having taken place in London over the last few months. Bring Me the Horizon have been posting updates from the road as they work on more new music ahead of their summer festival dates, including a headline slot at Download in the UK. And Avenged Sevenfold looks set to return, with drummer Brooks confirming on social media that their long-awaited new record is finished, and this update to their website confirming that there is not much longer to wait. Plus, 2023 will bring us the debut album from Meet Me at the Altar, which the band played for fans in Las Vegas at a recent listening party, and Modsum will release God Save the Teen, announcing the title of the new record online earlier this year, the follow-up to Internet Killed the Rockstar. So that's a few of the rock albums we'll all be listening to in 2023. Which one are you most excited for? Let us know down in the comments below. That's your Rock Sound News Update. I've been James Wilson Taylor. We will see you again soon.